place where we are connecting societies and changing lives.
The one who claimed a few years ago my music career was influenced by my choir master mother is the one that you can now call the real Pan-African artist, J. Martins, traveling all over Africa and the rest of the world from country after country, working with African biggest stars such as P-Square, Timaya, Fali Ipupa, DJ Rafa, Cabo Snow, and many others. He already delivered many hit tracks such as Good or Bad with Timaya, Ain't No Easy with P-Square, Jokpa Remix with Fali Ipupa, Touching Body recently with DJ Arafat. Either as artist or producer, everything J. Martin touched become a hit. J. Martin has understood that unite we can rise. He said life is a journey, and as longer he lives, he will still traveling, spreading his vibe all over the world.
Martins Arafat Yorobo Hey, epelele Levez les mains tout le monde Say more Put your hands up
I don't like this shirt touching body Waka Cause you know say my mama don't like them Waka So I don't want this shirt touching body Waka Cause you know say my papa don't like them Waka Listen up See Xmaleya I get this friend where we get from Calabar, Labake, Waje. Come to think she be my personal person, but anytime when she come around, she get this feeling where they do me like fever. And when she dance with my mezebu, he dey be me like say na for pana. Me like how she play the bass line, it makes me sing ooh la la la. The way she that, it makes me sing ooh la la la. Oh yeah. When mommy come back, she a jump. Daddy come to me a froze, and when they ask me, it wasn't me. That's why me talk say I don't like this shirt touching body. Waka, cause you know say my mama don't like them. Waka, say I don't want this shirt touching body. Waka, cause you know say my papa don't like them. Waka, listen up. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na.
Ale pepe busenda Mambo bache matula kadam Bate mawanya magoro Sine beba ne mabana Kuna mangene me mate mabana Koko banyeja Tolo kuma mana tala Tala matula kadam Bate bane mabasha Ne magulo kada baba Kuri mala Kune mate bala
Me like how she play the bass line It makes me sing ooh la 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 The way she that It makes me sing ooh la 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 Oh yeah When mommy come back She a jump Daddy come to me a froze And when they ask me It wasn't me That's why me talk say I don't like this shirt touching body. Waka, cause you know say my mama don't like them. Waka, say I don't want this shirt touching body. Waka, cause you know say my papa don't like them. Waka, listen up. Oh na 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 na.
Put your hands up.
Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Imara so soni akwina no mommy makifine mebu spiritual healing Amina Xmaleya however no try me cause if you try I go do you many things if you don't doubt me no try me cause if you try I go do you many things like how she play the bass line it makes me sing ooh la 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 the way she that it makes me sing ooh la 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 oh yeah when mommy come back she a jump daddy come to me a froze and when they ask me it wasn't me that's why me talk say I don't like this shirt touching body. Waka, cause you know say my mama don't like them. Waka, say I don't want this shirt touching body. Waka, cause you know say my papa don't like them. Waka, listen up. Oh na 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 na
Thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time and the fact that you've come out all the way from Nigeria here to Cameroon. So why don't you introduce yourself? A lot of people know you as the guy with the pink suit on in the music video.
I don't know what
DJ
it is with the pink suit. Everyone seems to love the whole
it's got people
thing.
talking.
Like, yeah, but my name is Martins Okey Justice. That's from where you have J Martins.
Yes.
And I'm a Nigerian. I'm from Western Africa.
Where in Nigeria are you from?
From the eastern part of Southeast. That's the Igbo-speaking part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And most one things that I'm an African.
Okay.
I'm a proud African, and I love being an African. So that also tells in the kind of music I do.
Yes.
And in trying to bring my African brothers too together in the same way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. You're one of the few artists that really works with, you know, a lot of other people in Cote d'Ivoire, in Cameroon, what you're doing with Xmaleya, and so many different artists. So tell me a bit about that journey of getting outside of Nigeria with your music.
For me, I believe for every artist, it depends on different people.
Yeah.
If you want to stay within your comfort zone, then that means that's what you decide to do.
Right.
For me, as an African ambassador and African musician, I decided to make sure I take my music beyond the borders of Nigeria and West Africa. And by so doing, I also want my other African brothers and sisters to know what I do, to see what I do, and to be able to connect with whatever it is that goes on, because I don't have to understand what you're saying, but once I can listen to your music and I connect to it, then that means we're connected.
Right.
And that's what I try to do most time. Like me, I'm from West Africa. I come to Central Africa and pick a Fali Ipupa. I go to here, you take an Arafat. Now here it's Xmaleya coming from Cameroon to Nigeria. I say, yo, Jay, we need to work. And that's why I'm here in Cameroon.
Right.
And you see, I could go to an Angola, pick a Cabo Snoop. And Durban, South Africa, you see Zex Bantwini. So it's what I like to do as a person. That's my decision in the music career for now.
If you just look at Africa as a continent, you know, it's more than 55 countries, you know, so there's so many different places to go to. So it doesn't make sense just to narrow yourself to one country.
True.
It's better to have as many opportunities as possible and meet with as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good. So tell me about your start. When did you start singing and doing music?
Music, I think it is in my family because my mom was a choir mistress, and right from when I was growing up as a child, so everything came from there. I didn't really think of music more as a career. Like, I didn't come into music like, okay, there's money in music, let's make the money. I think I was in music, making music for the love of the music and the fact that I enjoy music. I remember when I was a kid, a lot of people always say, why do I listen to elderly people music a lot? And
like which kind of elderly music? From the church, like elderly church music?
Both from church and
like Stevie Wonder? Or
Stevie Wonder, yeah. James Brown.
Yes.
You talk about those olden days, like, you know, Al Green.
And James Brown was so classic. He only used about 20 words and had a 1 hour song and used 20 words and it all made sense.
I'm telling you. So these are people I have a lot of respect for. You have Al Green.
Yeah.
And in Africa, you have people like Yusundo.
Yes.
You have Salif Kedah. There are many people.
Wow. So you started out in the church. And what was your favorite church song?
Did you sing in church too.
Did you sing in the choir?
I still sing in the choir.
Wow. Was your mother really strict in the choir?
Very strict.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Very strict.
She didn't play any games, did she?
No, she didn't play games. And I'm also strict when I'm teaching the choir too.
Right. Okay, so you teach choir now. Okay.
From back in the days, I've been doing that.
Wow. So you've been doing music for a while, and I think you're a part of the movement and shake in Nigeria where, you know, artists really started to be known well in Nigeria, to be known globally, and really start to make it where it could be like financially viable. So, I mean, did you believe one day that you would be able to make money from doing this?
Well,
like, did you
I
believe
didn't think of that before. Because that was not my intention when I was making music. But you know, along the line, we also needed to address that because that's the business aspect too. So we don't end up mismanaging because talent is one thing, but also how you manage the talent is another thing too.
It's true.
So,
there are a lot of talented people who can't go anywhere with their.
I mean, if you see, a lot of people also have the same experiences from back in the days. A lot of artists have got great records, but they don't have anything to show for it. So I didn't want that to be the situation here. So
what did you do to make sure that you were able to?
Well, I have a
make
management.
A business out
no,
of it.
I have a management company that handles my management.
Yes, and what's the name of your management company?
Now Music. It's
Now
called
Music.
Now Music. It's the same management company like you have Two-Face, the great legend from Nigeria, of course.
And he's on the same label.
It's the same, it's the same management company too. So you have a Timaya as well and all that. So they are the ones that see everything has to do with that.
Right.
Then have a different company that handles PR, which is NetNG, and then of course I have an online manager. I have publishing manager.
Wow, so you have an entire machine that is behind you, making sure that everything is moving smoothly.
So I can have time to concentrate in building the content. And once the content is ready, I could say, okay, fine, this is it. So I don't have to worry myself with so many other things.
Right.
Yeah. So
and I know the entertainment industry in Nigeria is really advanced. I mean, right now they're really pretty much controlling the airways in Africa.
Hilton Hotel is a 5-star hotel international standing with much accommodation, providing you, your business and your family excellent service. Here in Hilton, you can find conference center, room service, swimming pool, bar, restaurant. Hilton Hotel Yaoundé is the place of excellence.
Really, really popular. But tell me this, back to, you know, your beginnings and your origins when you started doing music, you know, started out in the choir, and then you decided, did you start with singing, did you start rapping, or like what was your first entry point, and who was it that you saw on TV and you're like, okay, I want to be like this?
Wow. I think I started with singing.
Okay. And who was like the main person that you can say, if I can emulate, you know, have a career like this?
Back in the days, you have to talk about the James Brown, the Jackson 5.
Right, but you're not that old. You're not old.
I'm quite a young kid.
That's what I'm saying. So who was the person that you saw like most immediately that, you know?
No, not like I saw when I'm going to be like, you know, I admire them. I love to see them. I love to hear them sing. Like the names I'm mentioning, but I started with singing, but mostly my concentration was on production. So for me, the one who was my mentor in terms of production from afar was Timaya.
Okay.
Timaya was back in the days like we have the Aliyah, the Brandy,
yes,
Missy Elliott.
Yes, absolutely. So, absolutely.
And of course, I finally met him. I think it was 2009.
Oh wow! Did he come to Nigeria?
No. I was in his house in Maryland.
Okay.
In the US.
Okay.
And he was shocked. Then I think I played a few records of mine, like, you come from Africa and you make this kind of record, so where did you learn them? Like, I didn't learn from nowhere. So, you know, it's the same thing, like, this is an idol for me. Like, I have a lot of respect for his creative.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And till today, he's very much relevant.
And how was the response from your family when you first said you wanted to be a singer or be an artist?
They didn't take it lightly. Of course, my dad, I had issues with my dad because, of course, he tried every different things to make sure I quit making music. He got to the extent of trying to stop me from school, and a lot of things happened. So that's why I didn't grow up with him and my mom.
Yeah.
I grew up in the hands of my godfather, who happens to be a pastor.
So you had to move out of your parents' home?
Long time. I think I left my parents when I was between 8 and 12 years old.
But between those ages, you knew you wanted to be an artist and sing?
I was just following what I have passion for.
But
not because I was thinking of being like a celebrity, no.
You were following your heart.
Yeah, because first I I'm a footballer, but then he didn't want me to play football. Now I'm also trying to do music. He didn't want me to do music. I understand his reasons now, because then I didn't understand. Because one, you have to understand, in Africa back in the days, we don't see music or anything sports like something
as a way
that
to
can
make money.
So you can imagine being a father. You're looking at your son going that wayward. So
absolutely,
that I understand what he's trying to do.
He's basically thinking, okay, I can't allow you to go down this road,
so
which is going to lead to
it's not like he hated
misery.
Me. True.
Right?
He didn't hate me, but he just didn't want me to go the wrong way. But then also he didn't understand. He was also pushing me to the right thing to do. So.
Yeah, I mean, but what was it that made you say, okay, no, I know I have to be right? Because I know, you have a lot of respect for your mom and your dad. I mean, for you to say, okay, you know what, if you guys aren't feeling it, that's okay, because I'm feeling it. How did you fight that?
I just needed to prove a point, what I was doing. It was difficult, it was stressful, it wasn't that easy road, but at the end of the day, it paid off.
Yeah. And what do you think are the keys to success? Like, why do you think you've been so successful? Like, if you had to just narrow it down to 3 specific things, what do you think it's been?
I think first thing is God have to be the determining factor. You just have to put God in everything you do.
Yeah.
And second thing, it's yourself.
Yes.
Because no matter what everyone tells you or what people say to you or who is advising you, who is talking to you, the one who have to make the decision to go forward or stagnant is you.
Right.
So first thing is God, second is yourself. And the determination to go all the way through even when everything don't seem right.
Being persistent.
Then third is being original. Don't try to copy nobody.
But being original, I think that goes back to being you. So I like when you said, that you saw artists and you admired them.
True.
But at the same time, you didn't think I have to copy what somebody's trying to do.
Okay, so if we say that, then that means the third thing should be, what's your motive for going into the music industry? Because I always say, if you're going into the entertainment industry in general, whether sports or football, music or what have you, first, are you going in there for music or for women or for fame or for money or for passion?
Okay.
The funny thing is, if you go into it having these 4 things in mind.
And what were the 4 things? Women, football, money,
the fame, and passion. If you go into it with the first 3, you will definitely be famous. But the problem is that you don't last. If you go into it because of the women, then you're forgetting something, that before you became whichever celebrity you think you are, some other celebrities before you had the same women.
No, because they're always recycling, right? Yeah. It's always a new batch.
Yeah, and after you,
there's a graduated class.
And after you, once you don't have no hit record again, the same set of women moved to some other person who's got hit record. So it's the same. If you go into it because of the fame, that's why some people go into fetish things, like some could kill, some could make sacrifices just because they want to be famous. Some can also sell their soul to the devil.
But do you think that's true, or is that just a bunch of bloggers who are just trying to blow stuff up?
I don't think it's a bunch of bloggers, because I, for one, before I even became, I know a couple of times 1 or 2 people who have told me, okay, we know you're a church boy, you won't want to go there. Don't worry, when you're done, give us your material, give us X amount of money, and give us your database, and we will take it there and we'll take care of it for you. But I'm not interested.
And what is it that they can do? They do special...
Whatever it is they think they can do, but one thing you have to understand is that...
Some Africa magic stuff.
It's not Africa magic, it's everywhere in the world. It's everywhere. There are powers, but then...
Absolutely.
Of course, also, those powers can never supersede the power of God, who is creator. So, those are just little things that try to express themselves, but they can't try that, of course.
It doesn't last. It doesn't last.
It will never last.
It doesn't last.
It will never last. So whatever it is you try to do, but if you go into the music for the passion and love for music,
yeah,
then you're headed somewhere.
So are you married? I'm sure there are a lot of women who have seen you in a lot of different situations with the pink suit, and they're like, what's going on?
This whole thing about pink suit is, oh Jesus. Maybe I'll try which one now again. Which color again should I try? I don't know.
So are you married?
Yes, of course.
Okay, you're married with children?
No, I just have one kid coming.
Okay. Oh wow! Congratulations on that. Congratulations. So I take it you recently got married.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's really exciting. Congratulations on that. Now, being an artist that I've seen has traveled to over 60 countries. What's your favorite country in Africa, and what's your favorite country around the world outside of Nigeria? Of course.
Well, I think no country will be better than Nigeria for me.
Bien sûr.
I'm a proud. See, I'm an African. I'm a proud African, but I'm mostly proud Nigerian.
And this is something I have to tell even to the viewers out there that as an American, the most proud nationality I've ever met in my life is a Nigerian. You guys will always say, okay, I'm African, but I'm Nigerian first.
I'm a
and
very
I always
most
love that.
proud Nigerian.
Yes.
Let's go! It's a Muginaga. Abia, Chai. It's a Muginaga. I say Monagi gave you Martins. Listen up, see, baby, make you give me your fine love, your sweet love, baby, make you give me your fine love, your sweet love, lollipop, my sugar sissy, you look so kinky tonight, my sweetie porezi, if nanyam baby, oh. My loving Diana, my love is here to stay. African lady, oh my, plenty desire. He dey light my fire, and I know I tire for you. Oh my, plenty desire. He dey light my fire, and I know I tire for you. My sissy, oh baby, make you give me your fine love, your sweet love, baby. Make you give me your fine love, your sweet love, baby. I like your style. You just sweet me as you just smile. See the way you just shine, shine. Nobody you go good way. Make we go see papa mama. The blessing go the flow, chai. We go just stay go. Plenty desire. He dey light my fire, and I know I tire for you. Oh my, plenty desire. He dey light my fire, and I know go tire for you. My sissy, oh baby, make you give me your fine love, your sweet love, baby, make you give me your fine love, your sweet love. Plenty desire, he dey light my fire, and I know I tire for you. Oh my, plenty desire, he dey light my fire, and I know I tire for you. So my sissy, oh baby, make you give me your fine love, your sweet love, baby, make you give me your fine love, your sweet love, baby. Your fine love, your sweet love, baby. Make you give me your fine love, your sweet love. It's a Muginaga, Abia, Chai. It's a Muginaga. I say Monagi gave you Martins.